Well, good afternoon and welcome everyone to Partickhill Station on a somewhat snowy day here in the Greater Toronto area, as it's called. Hi, Mark Hemmel down. Digger, how are you? Tom Houston. Please call Micro. Yeah, Darren, I really must congratulate you on your modelling of those tanks. Just outstanding. And for anybody out there who hasn't seen it, please check it out because he's just taken it to a whole different level. Hi, Andrew, how are you? I'm just trying to check that everything's working here. The audio and the video. The video has a tendency to drop off for different reasons. So, yeah, pretty exciting today. I announced a giveaway, but as you notice, it's a giveaway announcement, and I'm going to show you what it is I'm going to give away, and I'll try and explain to you how I'm going to do it, and I'll send it to you wherever you are. So it doesn't matter if you're in Australia or if you're in the UK or somewhere in the States, I will send you it. And, I'm going to try and be fair about this and how we go about it. I might just change this up because there you go. So I'm not really sure why it happens, but my webcam, it wasn't cheap, and it's always dropping off or showing only still photographs. And I went deep into the system to try and locate it and then give it authority to show what's going on. Anyway, just check it out this way. So, yeah, that's disappointing because, with the StreamYard that I'm using, you can either use a webcam plugged in or another type of camera, or the laptop camera. And then there's another outlet for audio and another one for video, but that's it. It's limited in that way. So, I hope you enjoyed, excuse me, seeing what I've been doing on the 3D printing. Well, there's my sister Rose freezing in Glasgow, like everybody else in the UK apparently is freezing. Hi Rose. Well, it's snowing here, not very heavily though. And today I have to go to a dinner this evening with some ex-colleagues, or a whole bunch of them, but it's a fair distance away. I'll probably be on for 2 hours. impending disaster there. Just bear with me. Yeah, that's okay. So it's out beyond where I used to work, and I have to be there for 6 o'clock in the evening, and that is pretty challenging because I have to go down to the main highway that goes all the way across Ontario. Got a problem here. Whoops. Pulling these. Must be a bad part of the rail or a bad point there. Yeah, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to like that. I'm going to stop that for a minute. Anyway, so in Ontario, Toronto sits right on the lake, Lake Ontario, and the city stretches out north from there. And there's a highway that goes between Windsor, Detroit area, and Montreal, and that is the heaviest trafficked highway in the country. So I've got to go straight south to hook up with that, go west a bit, and then south with the other main highway that goes north and south on the west side of the city, and then pick up the Queen Elizabeth Way, which will take you to Niagara Falls. And so I've got to go out in that general direction, and that's going to, in a day like today, at that time in the evening, that's 2 hours. So, it's a long trek, but we don't have these opportunities that often. Anyway, I'm going to do a few shout outs here. Double O Rail. I like watching Double O Rail because he's got a nice big layout and he does interesting stuff. Besides showing you all the locals that he's got, he does a lot of modelling, repairing. He also does 3D stuff. And I was chatting to him about the APT, which we'll get to in a few minutes. And I got some worthwhile input from him. If you're not familiar, if you don't subscribe, at least go and check him out. He's in the States somewhere. And yeah, he's got a nice big layout down there. So Double O Bill up in Scotland, somewhere over there on the East Coast. I haven't seen him post for some time. I'm just wondering if all is well, because I always enjoy his strip downs that he makes on the various locals that he has and those that other people send him. So yeah, it'd be nice to know what's happening with Double O Bill, or as I mistakenly called him, Buffalo Bill. Someone had a good chuckle on that one. The Monday Club. I'll always give a shout out to the Monday Club. Not everybody goes to the Monday Club, but they always get a good turnout, and they've got a nice layout, and they do a good job of describing what's happening in the market and so on and so forth. And Barnabas Junction, of course, Jason, he too is freezing, so he's not in the loft. That's a benefit of living in Canada. We've got basements that are heated, and we don't have to go to the loft. And of course, cool in the summer. So doing okay with that one. Flymo Chairman 1. you're always out there. I checked out your video the other day, as you know, and you had the little round and round 040 with a few wagons, and I told you I had purchased the Santos Express last year for the grandkids, but I haven't given them it yet. And I think it cost me $80 in the box, brand new, which was pretty good. Mark Wilson, great modeler. What can I tell you? Black hole micro. See. Thanks for the comment, I appreciate some of the North American stuff. It's amazing. My Finger Lakes is my favourite. Yeah, I've been to Finger Lakes. It's maybe a 4-hour drive from here, and it is actually Finger Lakes. It's from the shape of your hand, and the lakes do go like that. It's a nice area, sort of recreational area that a lot of people go to in that part of New York State. The New York State's a big, big state. It goes from New York City north up parallel to Vermont, and then it crosses west all the way to just beyond Niagara Falls, and then you're into Ohio. So it's a big state to get through, and that's where the New York Freeway is. Between I could pick it up in Buffalo and take it all the way to New York or Boston, which I've done in a couple of occasions. Lo Lee, how's it going? What's happening with you? Limo, the king of moderators, that's for sure. Where was I? Iron Horse Railway. Like to see more of what you're doing. I see you all the time on the Monday Club and a few other places. Welcome to Partickhill Station. And here's a good one for you, Boomer's Dioramas. Now, turns out Boomer is out in Vancouver. Great part of the country, by the way. And he does Canadian, North American railways. And if I get it correctly, he was a professional model maker, or did work for the movies and TV shows and that kind of stuff, I think. And then he decided just to go on and do it for himself. And presently he's got this shelf layout that he's been building, and he's constructed a large factory building run parallel with the rail, and he goes in and does vignettes, dioramas of the build, and describes in tremendous detail how he does it. And then he's got this ship slip, I think that was the terminology, where the trains would go into this extension and then board onto a ferry. Amazing work, and it's tremendous just to sit and watch real great modelers, and Boomer's one of them. Now, Wardle Road, don't see you on here yet, but hope things are going well with you, and wonder what you're modelling today. Are you doing a kit, or what's happening there? And Warbler Productions, I saw you on the Monday Club. And of course, Anfield Road. So, to all those people, we might not all be here, but hello anyway. So, yeah, Mark, I received the note from you. Yeah, nice model, but as Jenny Kirk was saying in her post today that I read, talking about the horrendous cost that's happening in the model railway world, and she just mentioned a backman local. I don't know, £400 or £500, whatever it was. I mean, that's just bananas, really. Where does it stop? And I guess whatever your bag is, that's what you will buy. Certainly not mine, as I explained in the reply to Jenny's post. There were 3 children. They were in hockey, all kinds of dancing, football, swimming, and whatever else. And, you know, after school daycare and so on and so forth. It was, it just, you know, it wasn't possible for me to go and buy brand new locals, as well as pay a mortgage and run a couple of cars, and you know, so I think I may have bought one brand new local, or I got it from the Hornby Club, a shunter. Anyway, just about everything that I've got. Maybe the Royal train is probably, it might be brand new. I can't remember for sure, but everything else was used, and you know, I made it work. You know, if it didn't work when I got it, I made an attempt to get it working, and for the most part, I've been able to do that with. I've been able to get all of them, for the most part, working, so that they can run no problem. Anyway, I don't know what your thoughts are, but yeah, Mark, yeah, that model that you showed made you think of my Caledonian, the Caledonian single. Yeah, just as I say, I don't know where it ends. Anyway, I'm going to jump into a little video that I made earlier. Hello, Clive. How are you? Yeah, I got your great photographs. Clive sent me a whole bunch of photographs. So, like, tremendous work. Very, very impressive. You should all have a look at them, or have a look at his layout. Yeah, class 40 for £124 second hand. Wow, that's that is a lot of money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little video. So just, it's about 5 minutes, but it's worth watching.
Well, after last week's broadcast and the discussion about the trouble I was having fitting my brushes and springs and losing them and bouncing all over the floor and trying to find them, it was obvious that I wasn't thinking clearly, because
sometimes gets
you know, as was mentioned. Well, Charlie,
blocked.
Sorry about the bouncing.
By the
Charlie,
mic,
do it from the other side.
The audio
And
on
that
the
is
laptop.
to put them in that way, and that's what I'm going to do.
So
however,
what
in
I'm
the
doing
meantime,
there is I'd stripped down.
You know, I cleaned this as best I could, but I still think there's room for improvement. Now, it's been mentioned a few times.
It's a little bit more to it than
Andy Russell is a great advocate
just
for
giving it a white
T-cut. Now, I haven't been able to find T-cut, but it's basically
so I look for that
for repairing scratches on
T-cuts,
vehicles. So
but I couldn't find
I've been
any.
assured that this scratch doctor
Anyway, I
is
ended
the
up
same.
with
So I'm going to give this a quick
the one that
clean
you just saw coming up in the
and
screen
see
there.
how
Scratch doctor,
I make
and
out
it
with
worked
it. If I can
quite well.
improve on it.
And you know, I'm just going through the process there of
Bring it up here.
of cleaning it. Now, I had cleaned it earlier with the 99%.
Oh, and of course you can see, even though I did clean it,
and it cleaned it up quite well. But as you see
still
there,
gunk on there,
it's pulling
and it
up
is
more.
coming off.
And in the end, it ended up looking quite clean. Just let me know if you can hear the commentary on that.
I don't know how much I really got to do this, but may as well just do it until no more of that carbon comes off.
Andrew, oh, you're selling? Yeah, you know, Andrew, I've never sold it. I've bought lots of stuff on eBay. Never sold it. But
I'll just give it a polish up here.
You know, I'm thinking of doing it. The only thing is, in my case, postage to the UK
lots of gunk
isn't cheap.
Coming off of it.
But I would say that to balance that out, anything that I would sell,
whenever I do any services from here on in on these Ringfield motors, this will be,
you know, as an example,
one of the first things that I do.
The Coronation Scott, 9 or 10
anyway,
coaches,
as you can see, it's
plus the
much
local.
cleaner.
Now,
and
I've no idea
$11–12
what that would cost
for that.
You know,
the whole bottle.
Very good condition.
I'll never get through it, but
the coaches are all
worthwhile.
boxed. And
anyway, we'll proceed
so
putting this back together.
Even if I were to say
and
$30 for each
we'll get it on
coach,
the track and see how it runs.
I'm sure you'd say that's a bargain. And I don't, you know, $100 for the local, no idea. But it would be something of that magnitude. And then it's a case of offsetting it to the cost of postage. Now, I haven't posted anything.
As you may have seen there, in the process of trying to get the spring in
the last couple of years,
it popped out.
But it would be more reasonable
no idea
air freight.
Where it landed, I heard
so
it,
that's what I would do.
But
you know, when I come to
the
start selling, so I'd be interested to know.
So unfortunately, this little exercise,
what the deal is, Andrew.
You know, for the most part, was successful, but the final
check
step
the postage deal on your eBay.
Of
well, I see, I haven't
looked
at that.
And,
so
the brushes was a fail.
You know, as an example, I was looking
we'll
for
catch up on that
small
later.
parts. You know, Peter Spares or whoever, and they were asking for £25–30 for a couple of tiny little items, just about choked. So I really didn't. I'm just trying to see what Darren said. I hope they're biodegradable Q-tips, Charlie. Rails of Sheffield are reasonable on eBay and well tested. Yeah, I've bought a couple of things from Rails, and I've bought a couple of things from Hamptons over the years. So, and what I like about dealing with them is they take the GST off and apply it to the postage, and yeah, their postage it is reasonable. Okay, Tom. Tom saying I'd be inclined to use isopropyl after the tea cut to clean any residue, as it's a mild abrasive. That's a very good point. I don't know if you can see that. So I put it back together because, as you'll see in what's left of that video, the spring sprung, as they say, and I was just at the point closing it up, and I got one spring in, and as I was putting the other one in and pulling down the metal clip, ping, and I heard it hit something, and I have absolutely no idea where it ended up. So that one's gone. I'll need to get down on my hands and knees maybe tomorrow and have a look for it, because yeah, I took your advice. Do it from the other side, because I spent hours trying to get the brush into the spring and then put it in the hole, and I just couldn't. I threw up my hands at that one, and then a couple of you said, "No, Charlie, don't do that. Do it from the other side." And I thought, there's a great idea, right? So I did that, but I failed miserably. I'm just going to check this camera. It seems to be running. Let's see.
Broadcast and the discussion about.
No. I need to remove that one. Yeah, just got to get this sorted. And the other thing is, I've got another camera filming the station, and it's got a little bit. It's got a little bit of an echo. Hopefully you can't hear it. Oh, I know you should have used the thread. Okay, Tom, what have I missed here? All right, Tom. You need to help me out with that one. You can smell the lubricant from here. Yeah. Why not 3D print and sell items to offset your costs? Well, I have thought about it, but here's an example. My little 3D printed cabinets, relay boxes. I have sent in to people, and as a gift. But I would really have to think about that. Not wanting to rip anybody off or sort of overprice anything, and as I say, the cost of postage. You got to allow for that, and if you're paying let's say I ask for £1 for that. Now, if I put 2 dozen of them in a packet, or something of that order, various sizes, you know, including some of those, some of those. So it'd be a variety of sizes. Oops. Anyway, so the minimum is about $12 to send anything from here to the UK in a padded envelope, and that's no tracking, nothing like that. So I sent stuff as gifts. So then you got to think, okay, if it's $12 plus this and this and this, I don't know. I think I'd rather just give them away. You know, others do it because they've got a large market, like in the UK. There's a number of guys do it, and good luck to them. £5 for 2 plus postage. Away you go, pal. Yeah, like the guys in the UK that do it, they've got a captive audience, and postage is, from what I see, next day delivery or the day after. It's fairly reasonable. Anyway, that's a topic that we could go on and on about. So, anyway, what else is going on here? Run a thread through the spring before trying to fit it. Don't tie the thread, it reduces the chance of ping gone. Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably be better off investing in a couple of new springs and yeah, anyway. So let's talk about the giveaway. Why am I doing a giveaway? That's the first question. Well, I've reached over 750 subscribers. Ta-da! Now, it's taken 8 years or more. So if you look at my channel, not just the ones that pop up because you've subscribed, but if you go into the channel, you'll see there's all kinds of stuff. I think I've told you this before. There's all kinds of stories in there about Glasgow, Hawaii, different places, right? Renting cars, doing critiques on cars, going to art shows. Well, it's not everybody's cup of tea. And, you know, I think I've said before, I was told by a few people, and one of them being vidIQ. Now, vidIQ is a service on YouTube. I'm not really sure if they are part of an extension of YouTube, but sorry to turn my back here, but they give advice to people like myself or people that are just starting out doing YouTube videos, and you know they're looking to grow their channel. So they're looking to grow their channel, and these guys give them good, solid advice that they can pick up, and it helps them develop their channel. But it's all about content and the marketplace, and how you can reach out to them. So over the years, you know, a bob between doing travel stuff and art and car critiques, and then, you know, the model railways, and eventually I settled on it that I'm going to have to, if I want to grow the channel for whatever reason, I've got to focus on one thing and one thing only, because as I said, you know, if you're a model railway enthusiast and you jump into my channel and you see me doing a review of a Lamborghini, which I did, and you can find it on the channel, you know, you'd probably go, hey, what's this? This isn't model railways, and you get confused, and then maybe not come back to the channel. So it was explained to me like that, and so I should really focus on one thing. And because, you know, I got to meet many of you over the last couple of years when I was building this layout, you know, the channel began to pick up more, and so that's where I'm at. You know, the one guy at this vidIQ said, well, why don't you open up another channel and put all your other stuff on there? It is kind of difficult, as many of you know. To set up a channel, find a subject matter, do the planning for filming, recording, and then, you know, start doing a regular thing. This one doesn't like that. Yeah, do a regular thing, and it's now I'm doing this on a Wednesday because sporadically do it on a Saturday, a Sunday, a Monday, and then I thought, okay, I don't want to be in competition with anybody else. I don't want to pull views away from other people that I like to watch, and so I settled on the Monday. The Wednesday, and yeah, this isn't working, this one. And so, you know, like Mark is trying to build his channel right now, doing a good job, by the way. But there's a lot of work involved, as you know, and you're only getting started in it. So, but you know, it's rewarding. I was at the SECC a year ago, last March. And I just missed Paul Chapman. Now, there's another guy I want to give a shout out to, Paul Chapman, Galgorm Hall, over in Northern Ireland. I saw that he was going to Model Rail Scotland, and I sent him a note and I said, well, I'm in Glasgow. I'm going to go. Are you going to be there? And he was only there for the one day, so I missed him. But yeah, that was a good show. And that brought me around to talking about the brick papers. Now, forgive me, whoever told me what it was, and I think they gave me an example of one of the sheets, but in the station at the SECC Centre, the big retaining walls are all this old black stone, large stones. Now it might be sandstone, like most of the old tenements in Glasgow were. And I've been trying to find that stone in terms of a brick paper, but I wasn't able to locate it, because what I want to do is go into the tunnels here and cover the walls with that type of paper, and that would get that sort of on its way to being finished. So if any of you can remember what that is, or if you're familiar with it, yeah, I'd appreciate if you drop me a note with it. Hey Dan, you're most kind. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, because it's difficult to get a grip on what it is people like to see or hear, and sometimes, because these the locals go off track a little bit, or they hesitate. I'm not really sure what's going on with the camera. So yeah, it's great to get feedback like that, because yeah, you got to humour me. Oh, Clive. No, Clive, it's not for me. I wouldn't do that. That is 381. That's like, it's over $600. Craziness. No, sorry, it's madness. I don't know. All these people must have loads of money. Buying brand new locomotives at that price. And sometimes I watch them, and they've maybe been to a show and they've come back with a bag full of whatever they found, like locos and wagons, and I've got no idea. I've got no idea what anything I've got is worth, and it's not important right now, as long as it works. And that's what I was saying, that for the most part, it's a little bit of rail adjustment, and I don't have the track all nailed down. I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to do with it. If I add in a third rail, third track in there. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess most of us have purchased the collection that you've got over a period of time in the past when things weren't just as crazy as they are now, right? And you know, this friend of mine who passed away and left a large collection. His wife isn't in the place right now where she wants to sell it. I helped her remove part of the layout. She's going to put in her basement, or she's got it in her basement. I'll need to go there and help put it back together. And it's about 10 or 12 feet long, and it's a dead end station to a turntable, basically, with 4 or 5 platforms at the one end. So, yeah, I'm not sure what she's going to do with the collection, and everything's DCC, because my friend made the decision he was going to go DCC, and he did that, and he not only did he buy brand new or slightly used DCC from Hatton's, but he also bought a number of chips and added them into his DCC locomotives. And so he's got a few dozen of them. I can't remember exactly how many. See, there's an example of a Delaware and Hudson locomotive. Now, it's heavy, it's well made. I think it's missing a stanchion here for the handrail, and it runs really well. And there's lights on it. And I don't know how old this thing is, and I'm not exactly sure. It might be an Athern or something like that. So it just kind of sits up there on the shelf. I did bring it out and run it a few times in the past to do a comparison. Okay, so let's get back to where I was speaking about the giveaway. Why do I want to do a giveaway? Well, just to celebrate, you know, over 750 subscribers, which I think is a great achievement for small layout, small channel, all that kind of stuff. And it gives me an opportunity to reach out to people and share. Right? Who knows? Maybe I'll end up doing more of it. I just don't know. The 110 GMU to class 104. Oh, that'd be interesting. I'd like to see that. Is that an old 110 or the hornby? Hornby one. I've got the Triang DMU, the old green one. I think it's away in a box somewhere, but yeah. So, let me see it. So a while back, Yeah, thanks, Digger. Appreciate that. So a while back, I thought, what can I do to add to the layout to make it more interesting? And I saw a few guys in the Monday Club got one of these. Mark over there in Donegal, he's got a few of them, and that is an end-to-end shuttle. And I thought, yeah, by Lee, I thought that would be a great addition because I've got the Class 156 in the SPL or SPT colours. And so I set up a track, showed you that last time, and yeah, you know, it ends there at the station, and then if I just turn this around, it ends there on the other side. So I hunted around for the little PCB, and eventually, you know, I found some on eBay, and they were coming from China, and that's fair enough because I've got a few things from China, and no problem. So a number of weeks went by, and eventually it arrived, and oh, great! You know, now I can do another video, fill up some space on the regular video about my shuttle. Well, I couldn't figure out how to wire it up. It just wasn't clear. So I said to Mark, can you have a look at this? I'm having a wee bit of trouble trying to figure it out. And he got back to me. He says, Charlie, that's a signal control board. Well, I don't have any signals to control. I've got a couple of signals, but they're not controllable. So I thought, hey, what am I going to do with this? So I wrote the guy a note, and I said, you know, thanks very much. It arrived safely. That's great. However, I've got a problem because I made a mistake. I made an error. I was searching, trying to find this shuttle, and I got confused and I hit your button. Can I return it, please? And immediately he came back to me and says, yeah, you can get a full refund, and if you want to buy something else, you know, we can apply it to that or whatever. So I said, well, how can I send it to you? No. Don't bother sending it because it will cost 10, 20 times the cost of the actual product to return it. So it's quite unfair for you, but thanks very much. I really appreciate that. So he gave me a couple of links, and I immediately ordered the shuttle. Unfortunately, it won't get here until January. So patience is a virtue, right? Anyway, so I decided this is going to be the giveaway. So one lucky subscriber is going to be the recipient of this brand new, unused signal controller. So I'm not doing it today. I'm just announcing it. So that was got you. So yeah, bonus. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is on StreamYard, they've got a little system of going through who's online, which subscribers are actually on watching, and it'll pick a winner. So I don't, I've got no influence over it. StreamYard will do it, and then I'll just get it in the envelope and on a plane, and it'll be there within 2 weeks. And then you can make a little video showing me how you installed it. So that will be next week. Yeah, Tom, a very good seller. It's called We Honest CN. If you're looking for any stuff from China, any electronic stuff, printed circuit boards, anything like that, We Honest CN. We_honest_CN. I think that's it. Just do a search on eBay, or I'll post a link to it and let you all see it. But yeah, like I told the guy, that's terrific customer service. So let's see if I can. I'm going to put that on. Just trying to move something around here. Just bear with me. We'll see. So yeah, we'll do that next week for sure, and then all being well, somebody will have it by Christmas. Yeah, nice little project. If you've got signals, you want to automate them. A great little unit. And it's amazing how far it has all come. Oh, Digger, you've dealt with them. Oh, that's good. So you would know. Yeah, it's a good experience, and that's the main thing. Is they're trustworthy and true, as I would say. Yeah, $12 though. Yeah, 2 wires are plenty. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's always a challenge, but well, Tom, congratulations on being an electronics guy. We all know who to come to for help now. That won't be a problem, because if your name comes up, we'll just draw it again. do another random draw. So another thing, the guy at Double O Rail said to me, when I explained to him that on the APT, let me just go full screen on this. I explained to him on the APT that it was kind of grinding a bit, catching. And he said, oh, yeah, it happens. Just put a little bit of white grease in there and that'll take care of it. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, I was going to run that other APT again, but you know, it's difficult to get in there. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you something different. Might have shown you it before, probably been a while. I think we're perfect for winter if you can find a bit of time. Yeah, you know, with this COVID, you know, great opportunity for people to discover a hobby. I was trying to explain to my wife about hobbies, men in sheds and such like. I'm talking about men in sheds, Barry Davis. Great shed, great layout, great selection, great information. So, as I said, something different. So I went out into the garden and let's just go full screen with this. So I went into the garden and just as that first snow had come down and I picked these off. There's 3 separate ones there. Now I sprayed them with hairspray, so they're good to go. And you know, there's a couple of things you can do with these. Let me just get. Like there's a small one. So that would be sort of one of these if I just broke it off there and did it be a small tree and go for bigger. Anyway. What you can do with these is, if you don't like the sort of cluster of leaves, then you can just trim some of it off here and there and then go through the process of sprinkling the flock and the different type of grasses that are available to dress it up. Being careful to apply some of it from the underside. Now there's a finished one. Now you might say, oh well, Charlie, we don't have trees like that. And you're probably right. But, you know, from a distance, and, you know, okay, so I could have thinned that out a bit. But if you look over my shoulder there, and yeah, there, it's got a nice effect. Because if you're standing down the line and you're looking towards the town and you see the trees, you'll know that that's a tree. So that's where you've got to look at things. So probably what I will do, I've got two. It's not just one, there are two of them here. And, you know, I serviced that first one. I'm just going to try and put it together right now with these difficult. Just give me a second here to make sure everything's working. Okay, so we'll try this. Well, it's well, that's what happens, you know. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But I did clean it, and I had it running, but it's just. I need to have another look at it. But yeah, I've got two of them, and the two have run many times, but you know, they are the people who might get in the original hobby, people have quite a lot of money. See if it will. Yeah, and I've got boxes for them, two separate boxes. One is marked for expert owned, export only. One's a large box and one's a smaller box. So, yeah, but they do run and the lights go on and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty good. So, yeah, Newland Railway, that's okay. You missed the announcement about the draw, so just to let you know, you're never late, as they would say. In this particular occasion, that is what the giveaway will be. It's an automatic signal controller, and the draw will be next week, so you haven't missed anything. Yeah, anyway. Catherine Anthony. Catherine, I think I saw your name. Was it on Monday on the Monday Club? Excuse my ignorance. You've caught me off guard. I usually recognise most people that come on. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, Clyde, very good. Yeah, very good, Clyde. Given that it's a Ringfield motor, like I've got a couple of A4s that suffer from the same malaise, right? It's just inherent in that particular type of engine or motor. So we just have to grin and bear it, and it's sort of ongoing effort to keep things maintained. So did anybody try the weathering with the pastel chalk? I thought that would have been an interesting exercise to go through. As I pointed out, it's quite an amazing change to the structures as soon as you start weathering them. And Zoe said on Monday that she was going to have to re-watch that video because she's been concerned about some of the Metcalf kits that she's got and how she might weather them safely. Now, what you can do is you can weather them, just leave them, or you can weather them and then put fixative over it, just a light fixative. And if you want it to be even darker, you let the fixative dry for a couple of minutes, and then you apply another layer of chalk mixed with the baby powder, and that will darken it. Because concept design of vehicles, cars, and whatever, that's what they do. They apply the chalk with the talcum powder, fix it, and then go back in with the same color, and it gives a darker, richer color. So it depends on what you're after. So I just saw something else here that now we spoke about this some time ago with regards to the giveaway from the magazine Build Your Model Railway or something like that. And this is distributed by Hachette Part Works in London, but made in China. And as I said, there are no running numbers or British Rail logo or anything on this. And I picked up a few of these. At the same time, I picked up, let's see if you can, up a bit, Charlie, the other way. Yeah, those locos there, I got in the same offering. But these are really nice. And look, still in the box with the little bit of track. And I think I've got 2 or 3 of these. And you know, that might be another giveaway. Yeah, we'll look into that. Yeah. So that's something else to look forward to. Oh, Newland Railway. Yeah, do you have those? Yeah, did they come as part of the same deal? If I remember correctly, you got a mat. I got these locos here. I think I've got 9 of them now. I gave some of them away. They're still in the box. I saw an article that someone had actually dropped a chassis, put a new chassis in with a motor, and looked terrific. And you know, they may have paid, I don't know, £5 or whatever, £6, £7, just depended which week that you got that. Well, you got about in a job lot. Yeah, well, I got these through the offering. Now, I can't remember if I'd seen it on the internet or maybe I was passing through London or something in the airport and I saw an advert about it but didn't see the actual thing, and I followed up and I got my cousin back in Glasgow to order the magazine every fortnight, and she ended up with this locomotive every fortnight, and came over here one summer or the following summer, and I ended up with a stack of these. Now, if you put them anywhere around the layout, and you just would never know that they're just plastic, that they don't run, that they're static. So oh yeah, Clive. So yeah, these are 3-pole. I think you saw that. So 5-pole. I'm assuming I would just try and find it through. You could get the place 5-pole. Let's just see that there's a guy here who's selling the whole collection of mags for 500. Wow! Wow. I've still got all the little magazines for them too. Yeah, but it's like everything else. You need a buyer. You need somebody that is actually interested in what you have. And if you're patient enough, you might get it. Yeah, well, these things are always good to know because you never know when you want to start selling stuff. Test the waters. Yeah, funny you mention that, Digger. I've seen a couple of the videos on that, and interestingly enough, I have a couple of old CD players, you know, sort of oval-shaped ones, stuck in a box somewhere. And then I've got stacks of CDs elsewhere that don't play now because everything's on the internet. And you know, my wife would say, "Oh, get rid of that CD player. I can't get it to work." Right? So, yeah. And you know, you've seen that. That's another little controller, sort of omnidirectional. And I believe you can modify it to go in two directions and also put a switch in it for on off. And you can get these things and add them on. It's just a case of being able to do them and knowing how and having that skill to solder at that size. You know, I showed you maybe last week this little set from the Rolling Road. When I bought them, I don't think they were exactly 00, but the work, and you know, it's all ball bearing stuff. Anyway, what I never mentioned or pointed out was that when you've got it on a track and you're testing your local, you can clean the wheels at the same time. Just get one of these, it's a long one, right? And dip it in the isopropyl and Bob's your uncle. Or maybe Bob's not your uncle, it just depends. Yes, I do. I do have them, and I was looking at them the other day. Yeah, I must have put them away when I was trying to tidy up. But yeah, I do have them, and the work, and I should really get them out on this layout. Okay, so here's another thing. DUF 00 British standard coupling. Number 5753. I don't think this has ever been out of the box since I got it, and so look at that. I've never used it. They are longer than the standard ones, and I don't think I'd be able to run them. Maybe I could, but I've got, you know, 3 or 4 of these, and I'm really not sure what to do with them. That's Intercity M12004. And, you know, as I say, there's a There's the couplings. But they're really nicely made, beautiful. And as I said, I've got 3 or 4 and bought them years and years ago before I had the layout. And I thought, well, when I get a layout, I envisioned this big long layout, but that never happened. She who must be obeyed decided otherwise. Anyway, yeah, so there's a perfect example, Andrew, of that type of coach. Now, I'm sure that's fairly valuable. I have no idea how much number of windows. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 plus the toilet and the door at either end. Or toilets. Yeah, no idea how much they're worth. So, yeah, the windows are kind of tinted. Yeah. A tenner, wow. That's a very good price. I paid much more than that. 10 years ago, whatever it was, just, you know, the market is the way the market is, and that's it. You know, when I watch, there's a show on that some of you guys will go to and videotape, and I'll say, wow, coaches for £4 or £5, that's a deal. Especially over here, and then considering what you have to pay to get them over here. But this old friend of mine, he was pretty smart. He'd go to the UK and take an empty case, and he'd get around to a show and he'd fill it up with coaches. So that was a smart move. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to have to call it a night. Because I have to go and get dressed, get ready, and head out to this soiree to meet up with my old work friends, whom I never see. Right, many of them live in the other side, the far side of the city, towards Hamilton, in that area. Yeah, I should go and enjoy myself and reacquaint, as they say. So, thanks everybody for your input about the 3D modelling and eBay and the electronics, Clive and Newland, the CD modifications, like all kinds of stuff to explore, and we'll get around to it at some time. You know, the good thing is there are only 8 viewers, right? So what are your chances of winning this? You can count it out, no problem. But you know, when I get out of this, and then you know, sometime later I go into YouTube, and there are many more, and I don't know where they come from, or which way they're watching it. Anyway, I'll get off now. Thanks very much. Really appreciate you dropping by, and we'll see you next time here at Partickhill Station. Don't forget to thumbs up. You know the score. Anyway, we'll catch you all later. Bye for now.